you move through your artistic journey, what are some of the best ways that you can help yourself? So I found in my own training that doing master copies was one of the best ways to not only learn techniques, but attitudes and approaches to your work from some of the greatest artistic minds that have ever lived. Hi, I'm Carrie from Carrie Lavez's Art Studio, and today in this video, I'm going to talk about what I learned by studying Rembrandt. I chose to study Rembrandt for 3 years, and before I went into the process, I was more than just a little bit intimidated, because for me, Rembrandt, he just was the epitome of what a great painter is. And my goal in studying him was to try and understand what makes a great master. I used to think that mastery was like a gift from the gods, that these people were just simply born with all this enormous talent. They had its innate confidence. They approached their work and it was just easy for them. It just came to them. It wasn't like the experience that the rest of us have. But after studying Rembrandt's works and reading a great deal about him and his life, I realized that actually mastery was a function of 4 main things. So one of the first things I learned was that mastery is actually a function of your intention. So Rembrandt, even when he was very young, when he was a teenager, he knew right from the beginning that not only did he want to become a master, he wanted to become the master. He had a clear intention and a goal. So you and I can learn from that. We can learn that if we want to improve as artists, we need to set high standards for ourselves. And who better to learn from than the masters? And the second thing I learned goes back to the old saying that genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. Yes, folks, you got to show up and do the work. Rembrandt had a very, very strong work ethic, and he had it his whole life. A work ethic is critical to mastery, so it blew the idea that it was easy for them. It's not. It's just a matter of practice, 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 and the willingness to persevere until you actually learn the lesson. And the third thing I learned is to take whatever challenge you're dealing with and just break it down into smaller, manageable sections. So this painting behind me, when I started it, I found the idea of doing this very intimidating. Dealing with this many people, really overwhelming. So I didn't think of it like that. I didn't try and deal with it as a group. I dealt with it just one person at a time. I just dealt with one face at a time. And by breaking it down into doable, manageable steps, I was able to just get through it one step at a time. And the fourth thing I learned is to be always pushing your boundaries, going further than you think you can. Rembrandt was always experimenting, and he was always learning, and he was always taking on new and experimental projects. So what can we learn from that? Art is an endless universe of possibilities, and so we don't want to limit ourselves as to what we can do or what we think that we can do. In the end, the biggest takeaway I got studying Rembrandt was that mastery is a journey of the mind. It's a mindset. If you think you can or can't, you're absolutely right. It's all about expressing the things that are important to you in your life and taking this to the highest possible level in order to perfect yourself. And to me, these are the main lessons of mastery.